See, I got a couple viewers. Appreciate y'all being here. Just gonna give it some time. Trying to see if I see my feed. Don't see it, but it's okay. Hope everybody's okay. I'm gonna try to keep up with the comments right now because we're streaming to Facebook, we're streaming to YouTube, and then we're streaming to should be streaming to the Facebook business page. So I'm just trying to confirm that we do that so that I could begin the content that I wanted to share with you guys today. So hope everybody's well. As always, all praises. The opportunity to express ourselves today, for the opportunity to live out our purpose another day. Maybe something has thrown us off yesterday. Maybe something was trying to throw you off this morning. Maybe it's been a rough week, start to the week. Maybe it's been a rough couple weeks. Maybe it's been a rough start to the year. Maybe you've had a bad couple years. Maybe it's you don't remember a time that it's really been much better right now, and but change is coming. It's only a matter of time before your season kicks in. It's only a matter of time. And when your season kicks in, you have to be ready for all. Listen, if you've been going through things for the last however many years, you should have developed some good resistance, some good ability, some good resourcefulness. You should have been applying yourself in different areas, where after a couple of years, it shouldn't be so hard to fight the fight because you've been fighting the fight. You've adjusted to the fight. Now, of course, there's different levels, but the principles are the same, So I didn't come to talk about that today, but it's just part of what we put out there anyways. We're always going to put out the things that we perceive that matter more, and those are always going to be the principal things, the principal matters, the spiritual things, I'm drinking some elderberry, sarsaparilla, rhubarb root, Ceylon cinnamon tea. It's a good tea. I want to see if anybody there, if you can make a comment for me. I would like to see, I see people watching, but if someone can at least just check in, say, hey, what's up? I just want to make sure that I can see your feed so I can get into the content that I wanted to share with you guys and to speak to you guys about today. Today, I am going to be talking about some tips that we can apply when shifting into a cleaner eating lifestyle. All right, my brother, Dewan, I see you there. I'm going to see if I can pick this comment up on my feed inside of my streaming platform. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dewan, man. You know what it is, though. And because you on a similar mission, you on a similar thing, you looking within. Yes, peace. I see you about them laws. Don't know where you tapped in from, though. All right. Duan, though, you doing your thing. You're applying yourself, man. You're banking on you. You're investing in you. You're putting all your chips in your ability, and in my opinion, that's a better move than Bitcoin. That's a better move than any type of digital platform. Okay, I appreciate that, brother. Good. So I know YouTube, I see you there. I don't see anybody. Good morning. I don't see anybody on, I see them on Facebook, but not on my StreamYard. But nonetheless, at least I have an avenue here so I can take a look at who's chopping it up with me right now. Yes, sir. It says, Dewan says, yep, I'm going to share it in my group. Definitely all about the inner workings, all about applying myself. You better believe it. Yeah, we got to apply ourselves. Literally, you got to take that term literally. You have to actually apply yourself. You have to apply. That's an action. You have to do something. What are you applying is the question. In what direction is what you're applying taking you? That's the question. You have to be not distracted, because you have to be aware if you're going in the wrong direction, and you want to be aware as early as possible in the process. You don't want to waste time and effort and money and all these other, different resources. So you got to make sure you're applying yourself. And like I said, I think it's more impactful for us directly, financially, and at the community level to invest in our own abilities right now, especially right now in a time like a recession. A recession is actually an open market. Okay, a recession is an open market to exercise some risk. If you've been, if you're an ambitious person, this is a perfect time to do that, to find a good market and to apply yourself. So, on that end. So doing something, if you're a person that's bound to servitude, this is a great time to be a servant, especially in this digital age. People do like to try to communicate with people when they're dealing with their money. When they're dealing with their business, when they're dealing with their health, when they're dealing with, whether it's the medical industry, wherever, regardless of where it's at. People would rather try to communicate with someone cognitively engaged versus a machine that has an automated response, that just may not be able to really tune in to you, So, but with that said, let me go ahead and get into some of the content now that I got quite a few viewers, it says here. So I want to get into some of the content that I do want to share with you. And one of them today is going to be why eating by food group matters. Why eating by food group matters. Food groups matter tremendously. just understanding the food groups that the human species is supposed to consume by nature can give you an understanding that you need to begin shifting into that cleaner diet, because it gives you good reasoning, solid reasoning. One of them is we're frutivores as human beings. We're frutivores. Our main source of nutrition should be coming from fruits. How do we know this? Our biological makeup, our genetic structure, our cellular disposition. Just paying attention to how the body is fed, breaking it down into simpler forms now. How the food processes through our system. Why everything gets filtered and squished and the liquid extracted. All these things play a part. So, eating by food groups is going to be important. You're going to want to understand what food groups you should be eating and what time of the day you should be eating them. I'll give you some examples of food groups. Fruits are a food group. And then inside of fruits, there are different kinds of fruits that are their own food groups as well. We have berries. You have melon family. You got cantaloupe. You have honeydew. You have watermelon. You know, papaya. You have those. You know. You have extremely sweeter fruits that contain a higher fructose concentration. You got mangoes. You got citric fruits. Oranges and lemons and limes and pineapple, things that are a bit on the acidic side. Understanding the difference between them is important. So eating by food groups matter. Another food group are grains, solid vegetables, leafy greens. Okay. All of these are different examples of food groups. You have spices, you have herbs, you have the oils. Okay. All different elements that add to a healthy diet, to a balanced diet. So when we have that understanding, we want to apply it, right? We're talking about applying things. So when we have that type of understanding, when we understand the food groups, and when we have enough understanding, then we want to apply it. So an understanding that we have is to have a daily regimen, and this is the next thing that I want to bring up here, that the proper daily eating regimen is important, especially when we're bringing it down into these food groups, because how we function as a human species matters if we want to optimize our performance every day. If you're trying to do well every day, if you want to have a good day every day, if you want to apply your stuff and be cognitively engaged every day, then you want to take care of your nutrition, take care of your physical body in a way that can optimize your performance. Okay? So a regimen based on your activity is going to be important. It doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter in the overall picture if you go to sleep at nighttime or if you work overnight, like in a nursing field or something like that. That part You just have to make the adjustment. That's the important part, to make the adjustment. Because if you do work at nighttime, like if you're a police officer, fireman, you know, some of these various different jobs that you would find yourself in. If you do, if you're up at nighttime, then you have to make the adjustments to be able to get the energy that you need and the performance that you need for the time frames that you have, despite the disadvantage of not being able to sleep during the night or the evening hours or the dark hours of the day. That's for the development of melatonin and the application of it. Okay? And serotonin as well. Because at one time during the daytime, you're developing the melatonin that's going to be applied in the evening, and in the evening time, you're developing the serotonin that's going to be applied in the daytime. So, but understanding this allows you to make the proper adjustments in your day so that you can try to eat more effectively, more intentionally, consciously, to have a better performance overall. So you're not too groggy during the day, so you're not too tired during the day, so you're not too mentally cloudy during the day, you know, you're making a low quality amount of decision making on accident because you're not really tuned in, because you're kind of tired, you're kind of groggy, you're kind of this and that. You know, you have to consider these things, and you want to set your day up in a way that it's going to be beneficial for the way that your day breaks down and the activity throughout your day. Okay, so what food groups are important at what time of the day? Well, the morning time is time for detoxification. Let's start there. The morning time is the time frame after the body was replenishing itself during a sleep cycle. So when you wake up in the morning, it's the clock. It's the normal clock. But the detoxification process is not finished. Just the gathering of toxicity has made progress overnight because you were sleeping. You weren't on the toilet overnight. Excuse me. No, you weren't on the toilet overnight. So in that respect, you have to empty your bowels in the morning time naturally. That's why we wake up and you have to urinate, and your urine is more yellow than normal than it is throughout the day, because your body was gathering that toxicity in your urinary tract, you know, from your kidneys, from your liver, from your digestive system. The body was dehydrating itself, so to speak. It's using the water that it has inside of the cellular structure, inside of its bloodstream, to feed the body and the organs oxygen for everything to repair itself during the replenishing period, which is the time frame that we go to sleep. So in the morning time, it's ready to remove toxicity that's been sitting in our system overnight. So it's already getting to the borderline of becoming more dangerous inside of our body, because it's past the normal digestive process. The time frame that it takes normal for food to process. It's, you know, if you don't use the washroom in the morning, what you have inside of you will be inside you for a longer period of time, causing a more acidic reaction. So waking up in the morning and flushing your body out with liquids is going to be extremely important, so that you can continue the process of detoxification. And the body's, you know, in a high state of detoxification between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the morning. That's when you want to empty your bowels as many times as possible. That's when you want to open your pores. Get a sweat in. Sweat things out. If you have like the, you know, hot tub type of setting where you could use that to sweat out, yeah, absolutely. That's the time to do it. Before you consume any food either. in the morning time, this is for hydration. That's the food group you want in the morning. Liquids. Hydration. Liquid, food, fruit water, as much fruit water as possible. Water, just to flush the system. Coconut water is great. It's probably the most, significant water that you can drink. If you have a juicer though, extracting water from fruits is great. But I would say eat the fruit though, because when you extract the fruit juice directly though, which is, it's good for the body. It's a cleansing, it's a cleansing cycle for the body, but it's very absorbent. So most of it does absorb, but it slows down the digestive process, slows down the chewing process, slows down the fiber going through the system, the fiber being utilized to clean the intestines and the digestive tract itself, because that's what the fiber is good for, especially. At least real fiber. We'll get to that. So that's what it's good for though. So if you can eat the fruit, that'd be great. Watermelon, that'd be great. Seeded, cantaloupe, honeydew, things that have high water concentration. If you're just starting this journey, yeah, throw some pineapples in there. Why not? It's a little bit acidic. You got that tart, that little bitter taste to it, but it's okay. There's enough inflammation in the system to be utilized. And it has seeds, so we don't kick and scratch against the Most High when it comes to dietary adjustments. If he said it has a seed, it has a seed. That means that's the disqualifying factor is no seed. That's what makes it unorganic to the Bible. I'm just saying. So keeping that in mind, the proper food groups in the morning are going to be liquids, fruits. There's no reason to fill your stomach up with meats in the morning. There's no reason to fill your stomach up with a bunch of grains in the morning. There's no reason to fill your stomach up with eggs and dairy and bread and gluten and starch in the mornings. No reason to do that. That's very counterproductive. That's going to slow down the digestive process. That's going to slow down, that's going to stop the digestive process for the most part. That's going to bind everything that you eat. You're going to be mixing it with a binder. You're going to be mixing it with gluten. You're going to be mixing it with starch. You're going to be mixing it with dairy. All these substances become real sticky inside of our digestive system because the body's heating it up. We got to remember that we're 99 degrees internally for the most part. So that the body's going to be cooking everything that it has in it, and that's part of the, creating plaque in the system, the calcification process, because the body is consistently heating up whatever's in there. That's why it's important that we get the food out of the system first thing in the morning. We detox ourselves and run liquids through the system so we can empty our system, especially if you're a meat eater, because if you have meat in the system for too long, and meat is flesh, it'll be rotting flesh. It'll be very acidic. Especially when it's rotting flesh. Think about that. So you want to get up in the morning, you want to flush it out. You want to clean out the system. You want to empty the bowels. You want to empty the intestines. You want to keep your stomach empty for a little while. You don't want to eat in the morning to that extent. You don't want the body to have to redirect energy into the digestive process. You want to think clearly. You don't want to start turning on this machine while you just turned on this machine. And you're trying to do well, you're trying to function, you're trying to think clearly, you're trying to be on time, you're trying to get all these things together and coordinate, and then you're kicking off this eating process where now your oxygen is going into your digestive organs, blood flow is going to your digestive organs, and it needs energy. So now the body is splitting up, the way that it's functioning so that you can do what you want, what you're trying to do. You're not going to be your best like that. Actually, there's plenty studies that show that functioning on an empty stomach on a fast period or a liquid period, or just functioning while your stomach is not full of food, while your intestines are empty, is very good for clarity of thought. Very good for energy levels. It's just, it's us. So, making sure we're breaking down the proper daily eating regimen, starting off in the morning with the liquids, and then you get into your salads, your fruits, your veggies. Great green salad, great, why not? Throw some mushrooms in there, some raw mushrooms in there, cut them up in pieces. Season them nice. Put some raw pieces of mushrooms in there, some bell peppers, some onions in there, a little seasoning in there. You know, a little garnish you with a little olive oil. You know, enjoy a nice salad. And then the grains. One, you want to make sure you're eating whole grains. Okay? And I'm going to get into what it is, right? I'm going to get into my next question while I'm talking about it. What are whole grains and why does it matter? You want to make sure that you're eating whole grains specifically. If you're going to eat grains at all, make sure you're eating whole grains, not starch grains, not hybrid grains, whole grains, all natural grains. All natural grains. So how do you know first you should do some research and look up whole grains. I would probably put alkaline whole grains because alkaline is going to differentiate between acidic and alkaline grains, which is usually the determining factor of human intervention. So when you're thinking about food, you want to make sure that it's as natural as possible if you're conscious to that extent. So whole grains, there's a couple characteristics of whole grains. They don't disintegrate in our body. That's one of them. What does that mean? It means they stay whole through the entire digestive process. What makes them a whole grain? A complete molecular structure, a whole molecular structure, or an entire molecular structure. The DNA of the food itself explains itself. There's no missing pieces. And the body knows what to do with it. The body understands it. It reads its code and breaks it down and utilizes it properly. Exactly how it's supposed to use it. That's why GMO or seedless fruits are actually more damaging than we think, because they disturb the body's ability, the cell's ability to read the code and understand what it's reading, because it's tricking them and then causing them to change in order to accept what you're giving it. So when it does have the real thing, when it has something that has a slightly different genetic code that we trained it to accept in our food, then it rejects it as if it's fake when it's actually real. That's why it's good. It's just better to eat real food so that we don't accidentally trick the body into accepting and developing a habit for fake food. So one of the characteristics of whole grains that it's a indicator is, does it come out of the body at all? And that is yes. What does that mean? That means you see it in the poop. That's what it means. That means every time when you use the washroom, that is your opportunity to study your internal system and how it's functioning. You look at your stool every day, all the time. That lets you know how you're doing. Like you look at your face and make sure you don't have any pimples on your face. Make sure your eyebrows are good. Make sure this is good. You make sure that is good. Well, look at your damn poop and make sure it has a water concentration. Make sure it has moisture to it. Make sure it's not all stuck together and hard and lumpy, because that means something. Make sure it's not too discolored. Poop is brown because of red dead blood cells in the digestive tract. That's how the body removes these things, dead cells in the digestive tract. That's why poop becomes that color. Okay? So when it's not that color, that means there's something going on. If you're supplementing iron, for example, then you would see a green tint to it. because that means more carbon, more oxygen, because that's what iron is converted into the bloodstream. So paying attention to it matters. When it's held together, and they say, hey, this is grown folk conversation. When it's held together, that means there's a binder. Dangerous. That means there was a binder. That means there was already something inside of there that was holding your stuff together, cooking it, holding it together. It came out held together like dough cooked. Light bulb? So separating food groups is important. Making sure that we don't eat some of these substances with mixing some of these food groups will really uncomplicate a lot of issues that we have and get us in the right direction at least. Whole grains are going to stay whole through the entire digestive process. Starch grains, for example, do not. They disintegrate inside the body because the body's internal temperature is too much for it. The cooking process of rice is just softening it up. But when it goes in the body, it finishes the job and it turns it into glue, mush. Versus if you're consuming something like I'm gonna answer these questions in a second. Versus if you're consuming something like meat and dairy together, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Eating meat with a binder is going to cause the meat to be inside your system for longer than the normal digestive process. Because now the meat is stuck on some sticky stuff that is not going to leave the body anytime soon. That's going to cause inflammation. It's going to cause a residue and a sticky film to coat the cells. And the body temperature is going to warm it up a bit. And some of that's just going to stick on there and stay on there in the creases and crevices of the cell and the tissue. And so some of that stuff is going to have pieces of meat stuck to it. So you're going to have flesh in the system much longer than you even intended to have it in there. See, we're not thinking, but we don't know no better. But we're going to learn today. You know? So let me take a look at these questions. Let's see some activity here. All right. Jennifer says, I was just conversing with my sis on how people should have an understanding of the importance of clean eating and also the importance of neuropathic medicine. Those go hand in hand. I definitely agree. Anything natural. So yes, for example, a person who has acid reflux, it is recommended to eat non-acidic fruits to lower the stomach acid. Yeah, understanding that matters. Because normally you can have certain fruits, but not if you're dealing with certain conditions in the body. Then you have to be extremely moderate in how you eat. You have to almost fast for the most part until you and minimize what you eat to your medicine, to the specific substance that you're going to be eating to cure what you have going on. You should not be eating to rebuild your body at that time. You should not be eating grains, for example, at certain times when you have sicknesses in the system. You should not be eating anything that slows the digestive process. Any type of food group who doesn't have water in the system for certain periods of time. We should not be eating at certain times of the day or certain times of our health when we're dealing with certain issues. We should be extremely cautious and moderate. We should be eating our medicine. We should be eating how we need to perform and optimize our performance. And when we're sick, we should fast and only feed ourselves what we need to heal. That should be how we eat. So my brother Paul, he says, what fruits or food are good for the digestive system? Mostly foods that have water in them. Those are the food groups, fruits, vegetables, and greens for the most part, because they're all going to add water to your cells. They're all going to add water to the body. They all have something inside of them that is waiting to be inside of you, that is specifically made to be consumed, absorbed, and utilized by the human body and the human species in general. It's specifically for you, for us. Fruits, vegetables, and greens. That's always going to be a good cleaning process. If you're really sick, if you really have organ issues, if you really have an ailment or a sickness, some type of virus or a disease, then you should, we turn into herbivores at that stage. We fast, we don't consume anything solid, we turn off the digestive process, and we infuse our body with things high in antioxidity, things that high in antibacterial and antiviral and in anti-infectious properties. That's when we click that button right there. That's when we pop that on. But for the most part, we should be eating food that has water in it. It's okay to eat grains, but you want to eat them right. If you're going to eat them right, one, you want to soak them ahead of time so they can have a water, some type of water, nutritional water value to give back to your body when you consume them. Because if you just cook them and consume them quickly cooked, they're still going to be absorbent. They're still going to suck water out of your cell, and they'll still grow inside of your body just a little bit, even if they're whole grains, and they're going to come out. But because they're grains, they're going to come out. It's a slower digestive process. So eating the grains at the wrong time of the day can throw your digestive flow off. So that's why, so when you eat the grains, make sure that you soak them ahead of time. Seeds and nuts as well. That's how you better utilize those food groups there. But for the most part, and when you do eat, for example, meat and stuff, you want to eat it in a certain way, okay? You want to eat it in a certain way, and you want to eat it at a certain time, and you want to minimize it to a certain extent, okay? You don't want to do it every day. You should not have meat every day. There's no reason and no need to have meat every day. We are frutivores. Period. Science proves it. The Bible proves it. In the garden, Adam was surrounded by 12 fruit trees. That is a figurative, it's a literal statement as well. He was surrounded by fruit trees to eat fruit, real fruit. God created fruit, herbs, and grass. He said, there you go, y'all straight. The Bible proves it. Science proves that the story of the garden is a factual story based on scientific data and evidence that we are frutivores and herbivores. The Bible was dead on. That has nothing to do with what evolved later in the Bible specifically. That has nothing to do with that. That's a whole nother conversation and different stage and different information has to be presented for that discussion of whether meat is good or not. I'm not having that discussion right now. I'm just saying. We are frutivores. We were not supposed to eat meat. We were not intended to eat meat from the beginning. And the Bible proves it. That's why I have so much confidence in that book, I tell you. But we eat meat now. We act like we're carnivores. We act like we have canine teeth to rip flesh apart. We don't. We have little baby teeth. And we have a long digestive process that filters things out to break them down, push them out, and extract the liquid from there. That's our digestive process. Not to be eating flesh. But nonetheless, even the Bible, we were at 120 years. Our lifespan was averaged at 120 years. At that time. And then we wanted meat. So we got meat. And the Most High said, look, since you want meat, your lifespan gonna go from 120 to 70. Here you go. Because he already understood the effects of meat to the body, how it affects the overall body. It takes years away. It takes years from us. We can survive off of it. Our bodies are wonderfully made. We're wonderful beings. Praise the Most High for his delicate care that he took in developing us, where we do everything we can to try to kill ourselves and this body don't die. It wants to live. We need to treat it better. We need to act like we want it to live too. We need to act like we care about this vessel, like we care about this temple. But anyways, how do we make meat less damaging? Since if we're going to eat meat, for those who are going to eat meat. So here's a few tips on that. One of them is don't eat it every day. Tip number one, don't eat it every day. Okay. Tip number two, stay away from toxic meat. What do you mean? Well, there's a lot of animals in this world. And there's a lot of purposes for all the animals in the world. Every single animal that was made does not have a purpose to be consumed by a human species. Every animal in our ecosystem has a designed purpose. Every single animal. The Most High made accommodations and exceptions. But some things he said, hey, we're not playing with this. Pork, he said, we're not gonna play with that though. I'm gonna make some exceptions because y'all hell bent on killing yourself, so I'm gonna let you kill yourself. But we're not playing with the pork. And Most High said it. Leviticus 11 said, don't eat no pork, no swine at all. And then science shows it. The chemistry of pork, the biochemistry of pork, that is a disgusting, disgusting, disgusting animal out of all animals. It has worms as part of its digestive tract just so it can stay itself alive. It doesn't even have sweat glands. It can't detoxify itself of anything. No sugar, no salt. The sugar and salt concentrations they have are at toxic levels. The heavy metal concentration in them, I'm pretty sure it's through the roof. They eat other animals and other organs that filter these other. Think about it. If you got a pig eating cow, chicken, and lamb guts, all of the digestive organs that the animal uses to filter the food so that it can be healthy, and the digestive organs can minimize the impact of the negative property in the food that they're eating in their body, and then the pig turns around and eats the digestive organs. So it's like a pig wouldn't get kidney stones, but if he ate a human kidney that had kidney stones, now he got some kidney stones in his body because he ate them because they were part of the organ of the human. You see? So these pigs eat all of these other animal organs, and these organs contain all the bad stuff that they were designed to maintain and to find a way to discard. And then the pig turn around and eat that animal. That's why the pig is no good. And it's shellfish. Shellfish is very bad. Animal sits at the bottom of the ocean. That's where the mercury settles. Mercury is a heavy metal, goes to the bottom of the ocean. It has weight. Those animals are at the bottom of the ocean. That's why they call them bottom feeders, because they feed from the bottom of the ocean. They're meant to clean the water. We should not be eating those. So those are a couple tips. But now what else? Well, first of all, don't mix the wrong food groups with meat. If you're going to eat meat, if you're going to do it anyways, if there's nothing I can say and no information I can give you to discourage you from eating meat, at least minimize how many times you eat it, and then eat it as responsibly as possible. Eat it without a binder. Eat it with something that has water. Eat it on its own. Eat it with vegetables. Eat it with leafy greens. Eat it in a vegetable soup. Don't eat it with bread. Don't eat it with starch. Don't eat it with dairy. Don't eat it on a cheeseburger. Don't eat it on a hot dog. Don't eat it on a pizza. Don't eat it on an Italian. Don't eat the bread and the meat and the cheese and all of that stuff together. Don't eat the chicken and the waffle together. Don't eat the steak and potatoes together. That's the problem, the bigger problem. That's what's compounding the problem. That's what's expediting the issues. These are the things that we need to address. We need to eat meat responsibly if we're going to eat it at all. There's no, there has to be a responsible way to do some dumb stuff. So with that said, eat the meat responsibly. Eat it with the salad, and then try to eat the leaner meats. Try to eat the leaner meats. Okay. Lamb over beef. Why? Because it's leaner, that's why. Some people say lamb is way more unhealthy than beef. I call BS. The Bible make room for lamb in different ways. Not because it promotes the eating of lamb or meat at all. It never did. It simply accounted for it. It told the story of what happened. That's all. God made some accommodations and allowed the people to hurt themselves versus him hurting them. He does it all the time. In our life, we pray for something, we don't get it, and he turned his ear against us a little bit till we get our mind right. He warns us of the consequences of our actions. He told us what was going to happen when we eat meat. Anyways, so eating the leaner meat is going to be better for you. I'll definitely say turkey over chicken, because chicken does not contain protein. Chicken does not contain protein. What are you talking about, Chef Solomon? Chicken is protein. No, it's not. Prove it. You prove it. Chicken used to be protein, because chicken used to be on a seed feed. Chickens used to eat seeds. Seeds, because there's seeds, nuts, and grains are where we get protein from. When they ate the seed diet that they used to eat, they would have a natural consistency, flesh consistency of protein, because that's what they're absorbing. Just like cows eat grass. That's how they get what they get. So chickens used to have protein and be considered a source of protein because it would eat an actual source of protein, seeds, which is a better source of protein. Hemp seeds, to be specific, not to be confused with any type of drug or any type of herbal marijuana, any type of hemp seed does not make you drop dirty. It does not get you high. It's just the seed of the hemp plant. There's different aspects of the hemp plant. The flower, the bud, is what people smoke, but the seed and the bud are different, okay? They have different properties overall. So hemp seed is gonna get you plenty protein, more protein than you can get anywhere else. Look it up, search it. Show me something that got higher protein value than hemp seed. Pumpkin seeds have really high value. Chickpeas, a grain, see? Seeds, nuts, grains. Spelt, a wheat grain. Kamut, a wheat grain. Quinoa, another grain, whole grain. They all have great protein values. So then what's chicken? Well, chicken eats corn now. Chicken eats corn now. Remix. Chicken eats corn now. Chicken eats GMO corn now. Chicken is sugar now. Chicken is addictive now. Chicken is as bad as it gets for us now. Chicken is GMO now. Even if the chicken itself was a natural chicken, the diet is what's important because we're gonna eat the chicken. We're not gonna cuddle the chicken. If you're gonna eat the chicken, then what the chicken is eating should be important to you. That's why you shouldn't eat chicken, because it's sugar. If you're a diabetic, it's gonna cause more problems. If you have high cholesterol, it's gonna cause issues too, because sugar takes up oxygen in the blood, which slows down blood flow. So if you got high cholesterol, it's gonna slow you down, your metabolism in every organ, all the blood flow going to the organ, all the oxygen going to the organ. Problems can happen. Turkey is a leaner meat than chicken. If you're insist on eating meat, poultry, then eat turkey over chicken. And lamb over beef, it's a leaner meat if you're gonna eat it. And again, don't eat meat only if you're gonna eat meat, eat them in soups, salads, and by itself. Eat the meat in soups, in salads, and by itself. Don't eat the meat with gluten. Don't eat the meat with bread. Don't eat the meat with starch. Don't eat the meat with rice, with beans, with potatoes. Eat the meat with vegetables. Eat the meat with salads. Eat the meat with soups, vegetable soups. Eat the meat with a dipping sauce. Eat it like with something that's water-based. Don't eat the meat, which is going to suck water out of your cells, with something else that's going to suck more water out of the cells and cause a sticky mess, a binder, because now you're making sure the meat stays in the system past the rotting period of time. Because we have to remember again, that the body's 99 degrees internally. Is going to keep cooking the meat. Things you got to think about. Okay? We have a nutrition guide on our website. I'm going to go ahead and type this up here for you. We do have a nutritional guide. So what I want you to do, go here to right here, right there, to thenaturalbranches.com. Send us an email. Just send us an email and ask for our nutritional guide. Ask us, hey, can you send me your nutritional guide? Put any email in there. But contact us. Go to our website. Go to the bottom of the page where it says contact us. Go to contact us. And send us an email asking for the nutritional guide. We'll send it over to you. It's a 15-page booklet, about a 15-page booklet that has a lot of the information I shared with you today here. Also has, the food groups. It also has a daily regimen, what our suggested daily regimen is in detail. Also has non-inflammatory food list, question and answers. If you want to do a gut cleanse, it has a gut cleanse there. We have another gut cleanse coming up here soon. So make sure you go ahead and if you should subscribe to our website so that you can get updates, you can get the coupon codes, you can get the sales and the specials and all the benefits that come with being subscribed to our website, okay? Eat responsibly. Let's begin shifting. Let's stay focused. Let's stay inspired. Find inspiration. Find it. If you can't find it, create it. Be proud of yourself. Talk positive to yourself. Check these messages right here. Kombucha. I used to work with a kombucha company. I believe kombucha is a bit acidic though. Gonna have to show me different, but I think it's a bit acidic. Yeah, I'll avoid the chicken. On our website, again, sign up for a subscription so you can get the emails and get notifications on the giveaways and get coupon codes with percentages off on our website and really interact in that sense there. So I was looking around to see if anybody have any questions. My dedicated time today is coming to an end. I am going to be coming back and touching back in soon. So, and keep on making more of a habit of informing you guys and sharing information with you guys here on these freely on these platforms, and also, engaging you guys so that we can take more steps into doing other things. So, being more impactful in different areas and in different settings, taking advantage of multiple different opportunities to be more impactful. So, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna feel like they need to believe in you, or they should believe in you because they see something in you. So you gotta be on top of it, y'all. You gotta treat yourself well. You gotta treat yourself with care. You gotta be conscious about, what you put in your body, and it doesn't just mean in your mouth. In your body in general. You got to be conscious what you put in your eyes. You got to be conscious what you allow in your ears. You got to be conscious what you put on your hands and what you allow in your hands and all type of stuff. You have to be aware of. This is a conscious life that we live. This is, we don't want to just go by the way, just make it in life. Just don't really know where you're at and why, no, we want to be extremely tuned in to life and the journey and what's to communicate in life. I'll tell you something. Just to share this story. I have a friend of mine's, Mr. Coffee. And Mr. Coffee, he has mental, disabilities, and so he, it's understandable why he can't, probably keep a job long and stuff like that. So it makes life a little bit more challenging for him, and he's by himself. He doesn't really have family like that. So sometimes he finds himself without. Sometimes he finds himself in not being able to have a room for the night or something. So whenever I see him though, I try to take care of him and I try to give him some love. I give him my tea. If I have a tea on me, I give him whatever he asks for, really, whatever he needs, whatever. If he don't ask for nothing, I give him whatever I feel I can, give him for the day. And, but one day I was talking to him and then he tells me he felt so he was happy because I gave him something a little extra, and that I normally do, and he was really happy, and he felt like he wanted to give me value back, right? So he's like, hold on. I said, what's going on? He said, look, man, you sure got a nice car and this and that. Okay, and I heard him stalling in the conversation. He's like, you need to go get your car to get fixed. He said, have you went and got it winterized? I said, no, I didn't get my car winterized yet. He said, oh, yeah. You got to get your car winterized. You got to do it immediately. You cannot wait. You have to go over there and you got to get your car winterized. And I didn't think about it. And then, like 3 days later, my check engine light come on. And then when I get over there, it's like a gas leak. Crazy, right? So I said to myself, if I wouldn't have took the time to go talk to him, he would not have told me about that. And I would have missed the opportunity to see how alive God is in my life. Because he tells us to be charitable, to show pity on our brother, and to show charity when somebody needs it. But in that exchange of energy, in that exchange of effort, in that moment of charity, the Most High opens the door to give you something back in return. I would have never thought about taking the car to get winterized if I wouldn't have taken the opportunity to do what's right. And what if you don't do what's right? What if you praying for something and you're hoping for something and and you don't take the time to seek out an answer like that. Like when you pray, you don't just sit there and be like, okay, drop it out of the sky. Like, that's not how it works. Like when you pray for something, and then you pay attention. Pay attention for the answer. And everything that you do, in your entire being, in your surroundings, in your environment, in the sky, in the birds, and the trees, and the people, and in your children, and your enemies, and your friends, in your work job, in your hub, in your wallet, in your purse, in your bag, in your notes, in your email. It doesn't matter where you can communicate through any means. He's energy. He's all energy. But know this, charity opens the door. That's the beginning. It's like putting a quarter in the candy machine. Charity. Like put the quarter in there, and candy comes out. You know, it's like something valuable comes out, something for you to help you unlock your goal, your mission, your journey in life as well. You know, I would have known it if I wouldn't have took the time to talk to him. So now, after that moment of clarity and understanding, I look at him like a candy machine now. The more quarters I put in, the more opportunity I give the Most High to speak to me through him. You know? Just wanted to share that with y'all. It was impromptu kind of, you know, pop on. Just wanted to share some information. We're getting a lot of emails, especially after the 21-day regimen that we just had. You know, just reiterating things for people. You know, some important tips that we should be applying when shifting that diet over. You know, and trying to get into a better living and a better quality of life. So I appreciate y'all stopping in. Again, shop with us at thenaturalbranches.com, www.thenaturalbranches.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Natural Branches. You know, you can see all our social media links and all of our links on the bottom of our website, you know, with the social media link section. You can subscribe to all of them. It'd be greatly appreciated so that we can share our content with you, so that we can engage you, and God willing, we can make a positive impact with you, on you, you know, in any possible way that we can. All right, y'all. Peace. Once again, this is Chef Solomon Israel of The Natural Branches, and I appreciate y'all taking the time to just check in with me.